Hey guys, Logan here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys my review for the live-action / CGI reimagining of The Lion King. Not only my favorite animated Disney movie of all time, but also my favorite animated movie of all time. This one is directed by Jon Favreau, who also directed Disney's live-action version of The Jungle Book, which I really enjoy watching. Simba idolizes his father, King Mufasa, and takes to heart his own royal destiny. But not everyone in the kingdom celebrates the new cub's arrival when Scar, Mufasa's brother and former heir to the throne, has plans of his own. The battle for Pride Rock is ravaged with betrayal, tragedy, and drama, ultimately resulting in Simba's exile. With help from a curious pair of newfound friends, Simba will have to figure out how to grow up and take back what is rightfully his. I watched this movie twice already. One last year and the other yesterday or the day before, depending on when this video is uploaded. And I liked it the first time I watched it. I knew how it was going to be. I knew that it was going to be a lot like the original Lion King movie, but I was still looking forward to it because I was always curious how, the live-action version was going to look like. But when I watched this film the second time, let's just say I was disappointed, and started to like this film less than the first time I saw it. I like this film less this time. And I noticed a lot of issues that I have with it than I did the first time I saw The Lion King, 2019. And I'll get into those, but first I'll mention the positives. Obviously the CGI looks great. The effort was definitely seen into, making the animals look great. There is effort to be seen in making those animals look good, and how what their movements look like and how they move, and a lot of certain things that they do and say. It was done very well. The score obviously is a lot like the score in the first film. There's barely any differences to be found in this movie. I will say the cast, it was a mixed bag. It was, some actors I thought were the right and were really good picks to play certain characters, and there were other actors who I didn't think were that great of picks. Not necessarily to blame on them, because they weren't in charge of, wanting to be a part of them. It's just the people who cast them, and how their roles were given to them, is not necessarily what I like. For example, Donald Glover and Beyonce as both the adult versions of Simba and Nala. I don't think they're great, especially as singers. I don't think they're great as the singers, especially Beyonce. And to be really honest with you, I don't think Beyonce is a great of singer. In fact, I consider her to be one of the most overrated musicians of all time, right alongside singers like Taylor Swift, Mariah Carey, or Ariana Grande, or musicians like them. Not to disrespect them or say anything bad or talk trash about them. They're not bad. They're just not that great of singers, and Beyonce is no exception. I mean, she's fine. She's fine in this movie. She actually performs better as an actress than she does at singing. That's just me. However, James Earl Jones, can't say enough about him at reprising his voice role as Mufasa. You can't go wrong with James Earl Jones. I mean, think about it. He not only voiced Mufasa, but he voiced one of, if not the most iconic villain in cinema history, Darth Vader. I mean, come on, guys. Alfred Woodard as Sarabi. She was a good pick. John Oliver as Zazu, I'm kind of indifferent about him as him being picked to play that character. I just wasn't too crazy about his version of Zazu. And not to blame it on him, not to criticize him on that. It's just, you know, how they executed that character combined with, you know, choosing him to voice that character is not what I am a big fan of. Seth Rogen as Pumbaa, really good. Billy Eichner as Timon, really good. And most interestingly, Chiwetel Ejiofor, two of the most difficult names to pronounce. When I first watched this movie, I wasn't too crazy by his take on the character, but the second time I watched it, his take on the character of Scar started to grow on me. Like, I began to get used to him as the voice of Scar. And even though he's not Jeremy Irons as the character of Scar, he was a good pick, I would say. An interesting pick, that is. Pretty much the cast is relatively decent. Some actors I thought were the really good picks to play certain characters, and there were some where I was like, nah. Now, moving on to certain issues that I have with it. There are barely certain different approaches that this film has from the original one that it doesn't have. Certain roots and certain moments and scenes that were in this film weren't in the original version. There's barely any of that. For the most part, it's pretty much a shot-for-shot remake of the original one. And it got me to notice the road that Disney was going on with these live-action remakes to some of their original classics. It got me started to notice. It had me starting to notice that. And as a result, after my second viewing of this film, I began to feel less and less excited for future live-action Disney remakes to certain original ones. I began to notice that. That's how disappointing this film is. It's even more disappointing this time around than it was the first time. The first time I like it better, this time I don't. It's just a lot of stuff that is exactly like the original Lion King movie. I mean, if I wanted to watch The Lion King, I wanted to watch the original, not this one. And so the more I watch this movie, the less I like it, and the less excited I am for other future Disney live-action remakes to come. I am going to give The Lion King 2019 a Silver Medal of Honor. So anyway, guys, that is my review for The Lion King, the 2019 version of a remake or CGI reimagining. You get my point. I will have another 2019 movie review that will be up tomorrow, and it will be for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, directed by Quentin Tarantino and starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. It'll be the very first Quentin Tarantino film that I will ever watch, so I'm really excited for that. I have never watched any of his films, so this will be the perfect opportunity for me to change that, to finally watch any of his films for the first time. So, yeah, I'm all for it. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it that like button to click, and if you'd like to see future videos from me, make sure to press up there to subscribe, and don't forget to turn on that bell icon so that you'll get notified about my latest videos. Have a great day, and as always, fight the good fight.